go.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the What If series, and today we're going to take a look at the Taylor Hall for Adam Larson trade that happened over the course of this summer. And we're going to take a look at what the Oilers season could be, according to EA Sports, if they didn't trade away Taylor Hall. So let's take a look at the lineup first. And a lot of you guys would be like, well, if they didn't trade Taylor Hall, they would not have signed Lucic, or they would not have signed Russell. I just went to look up on capfriendly.com right now, guys, and they have close to $10 million on cap space. So, I mean, they could have made these moves regardless of the trade. So, this offensive lineup with Taylor Hall looks absolutely unstoppable. Hall, McDavid, and Ed Burley on that first line. Then I doubt Versteeg's going to play there. They're trying to put Draisaitl at the wing, but I'm leaving best lines. Then Versteeg, Nugent Hopkins, and Lucic. Pouliot, Draisaitl, Maroon, Kassian, Letestu, and Hendricks, plus the potential of Jesse Puljujarvi coming in the NHL and making something happen. Then on D, it doesn't look as good as it did with Adam Larson there. They got Chris Russell, Sekera, Nurse, Clefbaum, Davidson, and Fane. In front of the net, they got Talbot and Gustafsson. Scratch, they got Lander, Parkkinen, and Griffin Reinhart. So I really feel like if they would have kept Hall, this offense would have been literally unstoppable. They did need the defenseman. Now they add Chris Russell. So the question is, would have adding Chris Russell been enough for the Oilers to have a viable defense, to not have to trade away Taylor Hall to get their defenseman? So we're going to sim through the full season, guys, right away, and I'm going to see you guys at the end of the year. What's up, guys? And the season is over, and by some freaking miracle, the Oilers win the division with 98 points. So let's take a look at Taylor Hall's stats, guys, here. Since he is the main player that we're looking at right now. Taylor Hall gets 37 goals. I don't think he's ever scored that much. He's never scored 30. And 32 assists. Good for 69 points. So pretty good year for him. Still a minus 13. That's not what you're hoping out of Taylor Hall. Then 67 points for McDavid. Damn, that's not a lot. I'm expecting this guy to get a point per game. Jordan Edberley actually goes with 65, which is pretty darn good. Lucic, Ryan Nugent, Leon Draisaitl took over Nugent Hopkins' job. Nugent Hopkins playing on the wing now. Pouliot, Letestu, Chris Versteeg having a pretty darn good year. But they make the playoffs, and that has to be the #1 goal for the Oilers. Making the playoffs. If they do that, I think they're going to be pretty darn happy with their season regardless of what happens. How good of a year did Cam Talbot had? He played 72 games. Shit, that's a lot. He picked up 41 wins, 25 losses, 2.77 goals against average, and 908 save percentage. Pretty good. So like I said, if they make the playoffs, they're happy here, regardless of having Larson or Hall. I still feel like New Jersey got the most value out of this trade. Let's take a look at how many goals they scored compared to the NHL, because I feel like if they would have kept Taylor Hall, the Edmonton Oilers could have been the best offensive team in the National Hockey League. Oh, yeah, right there we go. Entire league, goals for. Who's got the most goals for right here? I feel like this could be Edmonton, and it's not. The Oilers are actually pretty darn low. They're 9th. With 2.8 goals per game, which is pretty darn good, but they're allowing even more. Are they one of the teams that allowed the most goals? They also are. Oh wow, I said 9th earlier, but probably wasn't. That's just their overall NHL ranking. So yeah, they're 6th most for goals allowed, which isn't great. I mean, that's still a huge problem on defense. So I guess Chris Russell isn't enough to get them where they want to be defensively. And, offensively, it looks like Taylor Hall didn't make up for it. I know they make the playoffs, but I'm just looking at the goals against and goals for. It doesn't look like they had that great of a season. So let's go into the playoffs and, look what happens. I don't think they're going to make it past the first round. Honestly, even though they did win the division, still not feeling it for these guys. Okay, so game 1's against Nashville. and I think they're going to take an L here. Nope, they actually pick up a 6-3 win, but they lose the second one. Let's just sim the entire round right here. So it looks like the Larson trade might have been a necessity for the Oilers, according to EA. Even though I know they made the playoffs, like I just said, they really want to clean up their defensive end, and they don't even finish in the top 5, best scoring teams. And that's what I feel would have been a must happen if they would have kept Taylor Hall, because you'd have McDavid, Hall, Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, and just a shitload of great players. Eberle, really, honestly, probably the most talented offensive team in the National Hockey League. And exactly, they lose in 7 games in the first round to the Nashville Predators, who kind of look like they're going to have a good team this year. So I guess the Taylor Hall trade, according to EA, does kind of help the Oilers. I don't know. I do know they need to upgrade on D. And the more that I'm looking at their defense, even with Chris Russell, they needed an upgrade. I don't think they got enough for Taylor Hall, but looks like it was the right move from Pete Chiarelli. I'd love to hear, what you guys think. Tell me in the comment box below, guys. Should they have waited? I know maybe with the Jacob Trouba situation, waiting on, trading for a defenseman could have paid off. Maybe they called the Oilers and the Oilers, maybe they called the Jets and the Jets are like, yeah, we'll give you Trouba and Marco Deneau for Taylor Hall. Maybe it works out that way. They get more. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think.